Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Saturday. I am your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. First off, before we get started, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. We are at 589 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 11 away, and at 600, we will be doing that Q&A. That's number one. Also, make sure to go and hit the like button. So far, it seems everyone has hit the like button so far on the live chat. If you have not, though, and it's wrong, go on and do so. And then also the share button as well. Share with all the people that you know. Rather it be on social media, rather it be a family member, a friend, an acquaintance, somebody you don't like. It doesn't matter. Just go on and send it to them. Because it's free and you can change your mind at any time. Now, what are we going to talk about tonight? Obviously, we will talk about tonight's weather and the current weather, what's going on throughout the state of South Carolina and the entire nation. Also, we will talk about, obviously, the tropics. Tropics is another big area right now where stuff is going on right now. And then we will also talk about how the rainfall, just as we move through, it's not going to be as widespread. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of that. Starting off first, what is going on currently as we speak? We do have some shower activity off to our coastal areas, but nothing for the state of South Carolina. We are dry right now. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? We have some rainfall going on in Florida as well as Louisiana, Mississippi going into the north central U.S. Goes from the Dakotas to Nebraska to Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Minnesota as well, even up here into Idaho, and the Pacific Northwest. We have some rainfall over there. Now, what's going on in terms of our cloud cover? We do, in fact, have some cloud cover going on throughout the upstate right now, also throughout the Midlands as well. Low Country also has some cloud cover as well as the PD and the Grand Strand area. Now, what about our cloud cover for the future? As we go in and push this forward, that cloud cover, as you continue to push it forward, you can see that cloud cover will relatively take over a good amount of the state. Yes, a good amount of the state, and it seems like that we're going to be cloudy. Going to be a cloudy day tomorrow, so not going to be too much sunshine that you're going to see. Current temperatures right now, 71 in Columbia as well as 72 in Orangeburg, 71 in Somerville as well as 71 in Georgetown, 72 in Myrtle's Inlet as well as 72 in Myrtle Beach, 69 in Conway as well as 71 in North Myrtle Beach. We also do have around 68 inside of Greenwood, as well as 72 in Aiken. 73 also inside of Charleston. And then we even have around 65 in Greenville, 67 in Clemson, as well as 64 in Spartanburg, 64 in Gaffney, 65 in York, and 67 in Rock Hill. Low temperatures for tonight. 71 in Charleston, as well as 73 in Hilton Head Island, 66 in Amongst Corners, 69 in Georgetown, 67 in Myrtle Beach, and even 65 in Orangeburg, 64 in Barnwell, and 63 in Columbia, 61 in Florence, as well as 58 in Rock Hill, 58 in Spartanburg, and 60 in Greenville and Greenwood, 61 in Anderson, as well as 59 in Lawrence. Rainfall for tonight going into tomorrow, good amount of rainfall. And I'll show you why. We're going to check out the short-term model. Short-term model shows some interesting things. But 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch possible from Barnwell over to Charleston. And then a half an inch to an inch possible in Hilton Head Island. So, obviously, the areas in between could range all the way from 100th of an inch all the way to an inch. But for the most part, it looks like that we will continue just to see that coastal activity continue to go. Rather it be from the eastern low country all the way to the western low country. Crazy score for tonight, we're at an 18. At an 18 inside the mild category, slightly breezy or cloudy, but no major concerns. The reason why, obviously, is because patchy fog with clouds. Increasing moisture may produce patchy fog in the northwest zones and mountain valleys as well. And it might even spread inland, so around 2 to 5 miles. Overall, it's going to be a stable atmosphere, though, mostly dry with a slight shower risk, but mild. SPC outlook for tonight, we still have this little thunderstorm area over here in the light green. The light green means that thunderstorms are possible. Nothing severe or anything like that, but just some regular everyday garden variety thunderstorms are possible if they get going. Obviously, there's no moisture going on, no convection going on right now throughout the coastal low country, but if one gets going, the ingredients are there. Tomorrow, same thing, thunderstorm risk, garden variety. Goes all the way from Myrtle Beach down towards the entire low country of South Carolina and even portions of the southern Midlands. And then on Monday, it really starts to expand a lot. The entire low country, all the Midlands, most of the Grand Strand, and a little bit of the PD, and then even the southern upstate. Thunderstorms are possible there. Excessive rainfall, we're going to start here tonight, because tonight actually is the only risk for now. I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow night, but for tonight, the only risk that we have is down here. Hilton Head Island, Bluffton, over towards Indigo Run and Hilton Head Plantation, where we have isolated flash flooding that is possible over here inside of like the very low country, like the coastal area. And now let's go in and check out the models. So we're going to move it on right here. Starting off here at 9 o'clock p.m. You can see nothing really going on, even as you go through to around 10, 11 p.m. But look at around like a 12, 1 to 2 a.m. You start to see some shower activity start to move into the coastal low country. And that's definitely a possibility. I mean, that goes all the way to 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We even have some potential shower activity make it a bit into the more inland areas, going from 7 to 8 o'clock, maybe even to 9, 10, 11 a.m. Shower and downpour activity goes on, and it goes on not only inside the low country, but look inside of the Midlands as well. As of like 8, 9, 10 a.m., that will go on to 1 p.m., and then you might even see a little stray couple of showers moving to the upstate as well into the early afternoon tomorrow as well. So things really start to shape up, and doesn't really agree too much. The models don't, at least, agree too much with what the National Weather Service has to say. I mean, you can see like some little streaks go into the southern Midlands and to portions of the southern upstate, so I guess it kind of agrees, but not too much on the same track. But this was updated at around, like, I forgot exactly what time, let me see, around 5:09 p.m. So they had a completely different model run back then. And when I say back then, like 4 hours ago. Now, what about the more longer, but still short term? As you continue to push this forward, this is what it looks like at 2 o'clock, according to the model that we had earlier today. This is a huge difference, shows a huge difference, because instead of showing that shower activity moving to like the very far upstate, like the original one that we just showed had, this one goes all the way to 2 p.m. and look at all this heavy downpour activity that goes on. That goes all the way to around 4, 5, 6 p.m. And then we have thunderstorm activity for sure going on inside of the low country area. That pushes on through to around 8, 9, 10 p.m. And we have shower activity also still going on, moving up into the upstate as well, past to around 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. Then if you continue even forward more to around 12 o'clock in the morning on midnight on October the 6th, so that's obviously late tomorrow night going into very early Monday morning, you still have some shower activity that goes on all the way through. I mean, that goes all the way to the afternoon hours from shower activity from the low country into the PD area. So things, for the most part, seems to be a bit active. Nothing severe, no excessive rainfall, but things look to be a little bit more active in pretty much almost all of the regions, from the low country all the way to the upstate, to the PD, to the Grand Strand. All these areas has the threat for some rainfall. And so we'll get more into just tomorrow, just in depth tomorrow morning. But it looks like it could be pretty active inside the low country, the Midlands, and potentially even the upstate. Now, what about our long-term future? I just, just as the main highlight for this, because I've actually already seen this run, for the most part, you can just see how there's not too much of a disturbance going on. It looks relatively dry. And yes, we will have some rainfall here and there, but I'm not seeing any big storm system. There goes a little cold front now past us in around 5, 6 days or so. But that will continue to move its way through. We still have all this rainfall that moves down, and then things really start to dry off by around like October the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th. And then once we get to around like the 17th, We really can't go any much further than that just because it's way too far out, 300 plus hours, but it looks dry. It looks dry for a long time. And so, will we see that dry part of mid-October? It's looking more and more likely. Because even if you go in and look at the run from yesterday, yes, rainfall, but it looks still pretty dry. Still pretty dry. Even as you go through the 18th and 19th, and yes, that showed up yesterday. Obviously, I wasn't here yesterday to see it. But that was one model run. Obviously, it's not here this model run, so that's just a one-time thing. But that's all that I really have to say for the long-term future. I do want to talk about the cold front that's about to pass. If we go and look at the dew points right here, you can see all this dry air start to push down around October the 9th, going into the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. And you see all this dry air pushing dew points down to the 40s, 50s, etc. If you go to even temperature anomalies, you can see that cold air pushing down, bringing us some cool air, but it doesn't really last too long. Yes, you have cooler than average temperatures for sure going to the 10, but those high temperatures will still be getting up high, and it will get hot like immediately again as a high pressure takes over. That warm air will take over, and we'll start to get temperatures back into the low 90s potentially. I said earlier, I believe that we'd be done with the lower to mid 90s. These are just low 90s right now. We'll see. This is still 200 to 300 hours out, so there is a chance that it could still happen. Though I honestly thought that the threat would most likely be done, but it might not be. So we'll continue to watch for it though, see what happens though. But you can see as that cold front moves through, it pushes down all the way, and then we get temperatures down to the 50s, down to the probably around like the low 50s, maybe even high 40s for some people as you go into mid-month. But like I said, that warm air does not take long at all before it gets right back into effect. But that is all that I have for, again, just that long term and that cold front that's going to pass us in about 5-6 days or so. Let's go on and talk about the tropics. We have disturbance 1 over here. This is the one over here inside of the Gulf. The one over Florida actually is now gone. But this one has a 0%. A weak area of low pressure located over the north central Gulf is producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity off the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. This system is expected to move slowly northwest during the next day or two, reaching the coast of Texas by Monday. Development of the system is not expected due to strong upper level winds. And so that's the main reason why we just won't see anything from that system. Now, disturbance 2. This is the one that obviously I've been talking about, the one that we will be watching for sure. And so it says a broad area of low pressure is producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity several hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions appear conducive for some gradual development of the system, and it could become a tropical depression by the middle to latter part of next week, while it moves across the central tropical Atlantic and approaching portions of the Leeward Islands. This has a 20% chance now. It was just 0%, but now it's a 20% over the next 48 hours of forming, and a 60% chance of forming over the next 7 days, so that still remains. But one key thing that I do notice is that they moved it from the latter part of the next week into the middle to latter part, so it could be either one now. So interestingly enough, we'll see. Will this thing form? A lot of ensembles right now are kind of on that train. If you go into the actual loop real quick, and I show you all the ensembles for it. This was from the Euro right here. You can see for the most part, none of them have it going up towards South Carolina, so I'm not concerned with the system right now because the most likely scenario is that it's going to curve. But if we even go back and see how far that is, the time to where it starts curving right around here, that is Saturday the 11th, so that's still 7 days out. But it's looking like for the most part, this will most likely curve, but I'm not saying anything yet because crazier things in weather has happened, like a 90% chance of not forming. And so I'm just going to continue to wait for this. I'm not making any sort of assumption or any sort of major predictions right now of saying, yes, this will curve. Because honestly, 7 days is still 7 days. But that's what that one looks like. And even if you go in and continue it, if you go in and look in the Gulf, you go in and look in the southern Atlantic, or just mainly in the Gulf. But you can see some of this activity. You can see this little sign over here just to the south of, Jamaica to Cuba to Haiti to the Dominican Republic. Will that form? That's still 10 days out, so you can't really tell. But some activity is indeed down here that we might have to watch for as we move through as well, like the next 10 days or so. That is it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my Aunt Lula, who comes in first tonight. It says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. It was a little warm here amongst the corner, but not too hot. Please remember to go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know, because sharing is caring, and this is vital information to share. He's absolutely correct. First off, good evening to you. Hopefully you had a great day as well. And thank you so much for that weather report over there inside of Moncks Corner. And then also, we have 9 people in here watching, and we only have 6 likes. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know where those other 3 people are, but if you are those other 3 people, go and hit the like button. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. My Aunt Lula comes in again and says today in Georgetown it was warm but just right. Beautiful day. Wonderful. To God be the glory. Absolutely correct. Thank you so much for that weather update as well. And it was a pretty good day for me as well. Didn't really do too much. Didn't rain at all. Pretty much if I go in and check out my actual weather station, it was around a high of around 83, low at around 66. Well, so far that was probably early this morning. And no rainfall. No rainfall at all. So that's what I had at my house today. Let me see. Mr. Chris comes in and said, want everyone to know that my wife feeling better now. Thanks for all the prayers and your concern. It helped. No problem at all. Let me give you a round of applause for that. So glad to know that your wife is now feeling better. So that's the main one to give thanks to. Absolutely, absolutely. Trail says, greetings, just greetings to you. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Really nice day. I enjoyed the outside off and on. It got kind of warm / hot a little bit, but, it wasn't too bad. Once it really got to, the hottest part of the day is when it really kind of got, a little hot. But, 80-degree weather for me, not really that bad. Not really that bad at all. Dad says, getting just man, it was hot here today. I do remember your actual high temperature for today. Let me see what the hottest it actually got inside of San Antonio with the actual weather station that they have over there. The actual hottest temperature that they got for today, it was around 91. 91 was the high, but it didn't really feel that much hotter. And so, to be honest, 91 is around the hottest you got, even with the heat index values. Heat index values really just were not that high either. Not really that high either. So 91 is about your high temperature. And that is about all. So, Mr. Chris says I take 80-degree weather instead of the 90s. I would agree with that. For when it gets too much for me, 90, feels like 100, 110 degrees. That's where it's okay. I think we can cool off a little bit. But 80-degree weather for me, not bad. That's actually pretty preferable. But let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what locations am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, as well as Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly, and they obviously don't live here in South Carolina, but yet they still tune in. So I was like, well, let's go on, give them their forecast. So starting off like we always do, we always start off with San Antonio, Texas first. Starting off, you have low temperatures tonight at 70, high temperatures tomorrow at 93, and the low temperatures tomorrow night at 73. No precipitation is expected at this time. And if we go on and look at severe weather, same thing, no severe weather is expected at this time either. And then what about excessive rainfall? No excessive rainfall for you. Raleigh, North Carolina being the second location with low temperatures tonight at 57, high temperatures tomorrow at 81, and the low temperatures tomorrow night at 60. No precipitation is expected at this time, and no precipitation is expected at this time. Excessive rainfall is not expected at this time, and as well as severe weather. Now for Philadelphia, the third location, low temperatures being at 57, high temperatures tomorrow at 83, and the low temperatures tomorrow night at 56. No precipitation is expected at this time. No excessive rainfall is expected at this time either. And then for the final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, with low temperatures tonight at 62, high temperatures tomorrow at 88, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 63. So let's go on now, since those four are done. No severe weather, no excessive rainfall for you as well. And so for the most part, all areas pretty much looking clear, looking good. No precipitation, even though I know some of y'all probably do need the precipitation, but for the most part, that's about it. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? Persistent onshore flow across the southeast and portions of the mid-Atlantic will continue to keep the risk of rip currents through the weekend. Rainfall could be locally heavy across Florida, especially along the eastern shoreline. Meanwhile, record warmth for portions of the plains and the Midwest, and elevated fire concerns as well. For the west, a trough will keep the pattern unsettled with wet conditions from California up into Washington state. And so that also will cause some mountain snow as we have winter storm warnings up Montana, as well as some winter storm watches up as well, winter weather advisories as well, from western Wyoming to northern Wyoming to even like some areas over there inside of maybe Idaho. And then we also do have some freeze warnings as well from Nevada all the way over to, the border of not South Carolina, thinking of the wrong side of the map, Colorado and New Mexico. But that is about all there as well. Did I get any pictures today? If you want to send any pictures, you can by sending them to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. And I did not get one tonight. So, if you want to send one, though, that's the email for it. That says, tell that to my cook back, LOL. Well, I will say, for the most part, that for me, just not really that much of a cool person. Even for me, temperatures down to the 60s. I have to take that. I mean, especially with some wind added to it. Last night was out, and we had some wind. It was around like the mid 60s or so, and I was actually kind of chilly. So I don't know. Some of y'all probably find that as perfect weather, but that's just not me. But that's just what all I have for tonight. If you want to go on and please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. Top fans for tonight, Mr. Chris at number 1, my Aunt Lula at number 2, and then Thad is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to be a subscriber of the channel, because it's on subscriber only mode, and you also have to be active inside the chat, and you have to be here early. that's all that I have. Make sure that you are back tomorrow morning for our Sunday morning forecast update. And if you're not going to be here tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock p.m., the week forecast update. Week forecast update. Also, I did not forget about Fan of the Month for the month of September. Did not forget about that. That will be coming up a bit later. But Fan of the Month for the month of September will be soon. I'll announce when that day will come along. It might be as early as Monday or Tuesday, but that is coming up. So go on and get ready for that. If you have not gotten Fan of the Month yet, it could potentially be you. But I will be back again tomorrow morning. Make sure that you're back here tomorrow night for our week forecast update for October the 5th and through the 11th. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, and I will be back tomorrow. Hit those two buttons.